Choice Television, its associate and affiliates may not be liable for views expressed on the show. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey, mirundi. Leta mutwe gwawe. Ninyenda kunia. You see somewhere kidodi. I'm using kidodi.
I see.
Whenever he has a problem, you want to empty him. I'm a goon. No, I'm not a kidodi.
On your head.
Hey, ninyenda kunia. Mirundi leta mutwe gwawe. Leta mutwe gwawe. Ninyenda kusisa. No, waboko never kunia inimi. I don't carry a kidodi.
I see.
Yes. You want to take this over car. See, ninyenda kunia. My head is not a kidodi.
I see.
Don't show that who you're going to be. Never.
I see. Mbalamusizzaako nnyo mwenna abalindiridde Media Choice Television kyezzaako yenze Ssaalongo Kanka Kapita nga natuddeyo dda ne mutabani wa Mmole n'amatovu mirundi oyo yalayira nti walisanga Franka tumwebaza oba ndumwenda bw'eriba lifuti yali wandula omulambo mugyebaleko gyonna gye mutuusaako engalo nga sinaba kugenda mu bingi ebyo ebitono bye mulabyeko bye mbasunidde ku programu empanvu naye kansooke ate mbanjulire. Media Choice Television ngene eri wansi wa Media Choice and Marketing Company ebaleetedde products ezo mwe mugenda okusinziira okutuwagira nga muzigula tusobole okutereeza enteekateeka yonna gye tuyokubaweereza okugaziyaamu ssaako n'okweddaabulula ku bingi nnyo bye tufiiriddwa nga program ziri ez'emabega. Tubaleetedde brands ezo omuli ebikopo, omuli armbands, omuli engoye, omuli ziki holders ez'emmotoka, byonna nga bw'oba obyetaaze ojja kusobola okuba ku namba z'amasimu ezo z'olaba nga ky'obuuza kye tukuteerako ebbeeyi ssaako n'okukikuderivalingira oba okikutuusaako mu ssaawa ezitasukka 48. Kino tukikoze okusobola okwongera bafaani baffe obuwagizi bwaffe gye muli bweno wa office oba owawaka ayina gy'alaga oba ayagalya okwagala obwagazi okutuwagira osobola okwekutumiza ekimu ku byo bya mitindo gya njawulo. Waliwo omutindo ogutandikirwako ogw'amakkati n'ogw'abaliba bifeekera bambalagala. Buli kimu ky'osaba kibaako omutindo ogw'enjawulo. Mwongere okutuwagira twagala tubaddize nga bwe mutuddiza okusobola okuddukanya embeera zino n'okuyambako abo bwe twakkiriziganya okuyambako ng'omukutu guno tusobole naffe okubaawo. Media Choice Television wansi wa Media Choice and Marketing Company products ezo muzeeyunire si za buseere ojja kuba ku namba y'essimu oba otuweereze ku WhatsApp otegeere ebiwendo ssaako nabikutuukako bitya. Nga sinabeera kutandika kate kambabuulire abatwandikoze Contractors and General Suppliers Uganda Limited gwe oba oyina kiweetaaga kya kuzimba hardware yaabwe ekikutuusaako okuva ku mataffaali omusenyu obuntu buno obutono obunnyo bwe basinga bumunyooma nga mugenda okuzimba babulina bonna teweetawaanya na kuteekayo baana kukubira mataffaali bagakkobera ng'oggyeko ekyo abatwandikoze Contractors and General Suppliers Limited ba contractors abakuzimbira buli kya nnyumba okuva kayumba k'enkoko akembwe ennyumba y'abantu ebizimbe ebinene ssaako n'ebyo ebiri commercial oba residential batuusa amasannyalaze ate basobola n'okukola enguudo toba ng'ato oba emirimu twandikoze Contractors and General Suppliers Limited buli kyabuzimbi bakubireko ku namba z'amasimu ago bakkolera ng'ate osasudde kitono mwansi w'okuteeseganya ne musobola okukwatagana. Tuweerabira abatwandikoze nabo bakubireko.
You cannot even spare a small fish. Namune mubamu musuma never suma. Agati as a result, you have evicted the people from their land to sell it free. I'm a company gamu. You have a summa fellowship. Your fellowship will take uta. Kagati as a result, I always tell you that if you burn a neighboring bush, the snakes
will grow into your house.
Will sneak into your house.
I see.
Yes. Museveni had the chances of ruling for life. If he did not, and Museveni's problem came when his family expanded.
But
there is no leader who can.
He has almost become a president for life.
No.
What has he missed?
Fish, there is a law for fish. The last law for fish was done in 1923 by the Europeans. But you are coming here, but it's in the taker area organism. If you fail, if the doctors recommend to you that you have a sick heart, you advertise in the newspaper. So this bank is back.
I see.
Greenland Bank, they are going to court. You will pay. They are itching to be grabbed like a grasshopper. This is why these arrogant fellows who have banned the out of State House that I had abused her mother took 5 billion, thinking that Museveni thought that I wanted a job to survive, that I was a pauper. Sent me to Jirikit where they threw the dogs. Our advisory role in this government is for welfare. There is how many crises has Museveni invited these people? Me, I'm not a Jirikit. I cannot be thrown into a Jirikit. Because let us have the argument. I'm a woman. You have thrown me out of the material bed, room. Should I go to the kitchen to become a house girl? I refuse. A yellow cannot become a media center, but he was going to smash their heads.
I see.
Luabobo has never seen. These people have never confronted a man like me. Even to go to State House, when Museveni offered me a job at Wachitula, he rejected it outright. It was this immediate chamber who convinced me, because I knew their government. Their government is based on humiliation.
I see.
Serving Museveni committed and with the total loyalty is a punishment by Museveni.
Lands you to serious problems.
Instead of thanking me after a service, 14-year service, Museveni has thrown me to Kusasira. Kusasira, so that I come back and work for them. I refused. I refused to go to Kusasira. I cannot go to Kusasira. I will never be a wound. Cut their hand on a person, it was so that at any given time, I will kneel before him.
People think you went back.
Where?
That when you shook hands with Mwebazi, it is as if you had gone back.
It was a triumph for me. This office where to Mwebazi, the architecture. Museveni wanted me to kill Mwebazi. I come from a very arrogant family.
But people are wondering, when you saw this guy.
It was a party because he invited me.
I see.
Yes.
You could not spoil someone's party.
I have maintained my stand. I don't attend government rallies. I vowed never to go to State House. I was invited. Immediately after my speech, I left. Yes.
Yes, I was told you did not even eat anything.
No.
Or what? You simply walked out?
I walked out. Left. Kakati nkubulira negamba nze tewali kibajja kunkola. Luwawogo wants to be president and he thinks he can coerce me.
Now he wants you at UCC.
That girl is stupid.
I see.
She is stinking in knickers. That girl of UCC, she is stinking in knickers.
I see.
He is very stupid. He's an idiot. When a person says that these tapes are fake, how can you call him? What he should do is to call a voice expert.
Yes.
Abakakwana bagamba kawunya munnika tadanga mukunepakirako never second mwenge
oyo engineer mulamba
ba nizoka kuba ningaso mtu engineer wa
engineer
kasiya bakaleta bulesi mbone bagiteeka ndabaka kwazi kwetu tanirigerangamu nizo kujene bade kwasa no mtu you are stupid, you are an idiot. You for somebody questions the voice is not yours, then why do you why? I gave you an example that a man went to a lodge with another woman. But the other one, when he had in the next room a woman making noise, funny noise, he recognized that that was his wife. And he told these people, open the door. If he's not the one, then I will pay. So my tapes are clear state like this one you are going to play. These are fake tapes. So if I've already said they are fake tapes, then what's the panic? What's the panic?
I see.
ayagala kujoga ajogi mirundi leta omutwe gwawe ninyenda kusiisa She seeks some kidoli. I'm using kidoli.
I see.
Whenever he has a problem, you want to empty him. I'm a goon. No, I'm not a kidoli.
On your head.
Hey, ninyenda kunia. Mirundi leta omutwe gwawe. Leta omutwe gwawe. Ninyenda kusiisa. No, kunia in me. I don't carry a kidoli.
I see.
Yes. It's not. How could you expect to control a woman you sacked, you divorced? They divorced me.
I see.
They lost control over me. You go to court.
Is there a big difference between Muhoza and them?
Yes.
Muhoza is a son of a person who sacked you.
Muhoza has been a victim. When you read my book, I tell you that Muhoza has also been a victim of this group. I say, malice in government. These people are very malicious. These people, I said that what they do, ninyenda kunia, leta omutwe gwawe, ninyenda kusiisa, ninyenda kunia. Abalowooza nti we are mobile toilets, we have bidoli. Whenever they want to kunia, they call our heads. Whenever they want to kusiisa, they call our heads. No.
I see.
I hear you, Abarokole. We are in God's image.
All of us.
I'm a product of a sex act between my father and my mother. I was not manufactured by carpenters.
I see.
I'm not a doll manufactured by the Chinese.
I see.
Some of us have better brains than you. It's only because you were at the right place at the right time.
I see.
Obujozo nakugamba. Nti I enumerated the way this government operates. And I enumerated in this book how I learned about marriage and how to deal with marriage. And I've defeated them. So the bank is back. Gurina and the bank, they are suing them because they did not fulfill the conditions.
I see.
Up to now, almost 25 years, the liquidator has not. So because the assets were sold by the government, they have defeated them everywhere. But I tell them, the above factors who doing it is some of his close associates, Museveni associates, that Museveni was a passing cloud, and they started the early jostling for power, starting with the Ziyamba, Dr. Kizabesi, Henry Tumukunde, Gilbert Bukenya, and later Mama Mbabas, and Sudirwaboko. In order to prepare their future presidents, they all resorted to malice. In order to undermine Museveni and their perceived enemies, you cannot sit in an already occupied chair before removing the occupant. Kakati gwe babagala yali ayagala sente 5 billion gwe mbwaje kube bwajijjawo mbongende eri mu president's office advisor nkomemba kolere you have been chased as a housewife, sent to the kitchen, you come back as a house girl.
I see.
Oyo mirundi za muzalanga. Oyo mirundi goba kuba press secretary sponsor.
Ne bamuwereza mu
era komewa abakolere. Ninswere mpunu.
Ne bamuwereza ku media center.
Tebali ndamu mulaba.
Pulira.
They will never see me.
I see.
They will never see me. For you evaluated me. Political value and commercial value, and he threw me on Kusasira. Me, I know I'm not a Kusasira type. That's why I've survived for 9 years. And it is my own initiative. Nobody. I was meeting a delegation from Congo. You see, politics is perception. Many people come to me. I tell them I have never seen this man. No, you are joking. You know him. How could he put you on his organizing committee? I said, I don't know him. So they're going to people everybody.
So what do you think people should think? Yes. If someone can think of you and put you in a committee,
no, you know,
then of course you normally meet him.
Even if we are would like to work out with him, but he spoiled his being. And let him wait. Let him wait me on the political ladder. Let him show himself on the ballot. I will trap him the lessons. Mirundi litumtuko wawe nienda kunia nienda kusisha nienda kunia. I'm not a kidoli.
I see.
Let him forget me. I'm not a kidoli.
I see.
Who is used as a mobile kidoli?
I see.
The young one state house at the moment and yoga. As in the common tongue, best as
Put it up.
if you wants to test me, send him an name is best as I shoot him, best as a material.
Abaisisi bagamba nti bakwetaaga omalako lwaboga emirembe nti omuvuma
go to court. Yes, what am I saying?
Standards simanya ba communication standards.
I'm above UCC. Why? UCC tried to suspend my programs. They failed. You tried to contain me, I defeated you.
I see.
This woman is stupid. Do you control YouTube?
No.
You a dog, you don't even know your jurisdiction. This Kagari is stupid. You a fool. You are not fit to be there. We are put there after removing the competent person. Do you control YouTube here? Do you control Uganda that because I talk to YouTube in Uganda, you are stupid, you are not the president of Uganda.
I see.
Learn your jurisdiction. You are not a lawyer.
I see.
You are an arbitration center. A courageous person goes to court. Don't intimidate me. I have a large following here, but I'm highly disciplined. I did the media law. Where did this woman do media law? You woman who stinks in knickers.
The one of UCC.
The one of UCC who doesn't know her jurisdiction. Do you control YouTube?
No.
No. Do you control Uganda? No. You are stupid. If you don't know your jurisdiction, you are stupid.
I see.
You should come to me to tell you, to educate you.
Are you seriously above UCC?
Yes. I'm above UCC. I'm above UCC.
I see.
UCC regulates
radio stations,
yes,
and the local television.
That's not YouTube.
Of course.
She thinks she has let her read her jurisdiction properly.
Yes.
Yes. And the two is a regulatory. You move ahead. When you cross my area, I'm not saying that I'm above the law. No, the courts are there.
Yes.
But I will tell you that you are an idiot. The moment you extend yourself, your jurisdiction to an area
where you have no jurisdiction.
I go to muzzle. I hear press freedom, muzzling freedom. What are you saying? Let anybody challenge me. In fact, for me, if you have feels aggrieved, I give him this platform. I only come here rare. It's your platform. Then offer him. Offer him
some space to explain.
Yes.
Yeah?
Do I pay you?
No.
Let you also use the same space. But if you feel, no. The moment you abandon me out of state house that abuse your mother-in-law, government just control over me.
I see.
Yes.
You're out and you're free back. You can fly anywhere you want.
You see, when Nkrumah was overthrown in 1969 by the army, he was given the vice president's slot in a neighboring country which hosted him, was overthrown in China. But Nkrumah rejected the appointment. He said, these boys in Akula will soon realize their problems and allow me to come back. Nkrumah died in exile.
I see.
He also told me about a kid, a stubborn kid. His father took to the village for punishment. The boy refused to come back. How do you expect a man like me, who has enjoyed my freedom for 9 years,
to go back under the control of someone?
Yes. Where I'm expected to defend and defendable things, like the coffee deal. Don't expect it.
But Mzee, what's up with the coffee deal?
So let me read it to you. That these people made a mistake because I had studied them, how would they operate. I said, the way the mafias operate, I had worked in the State House at the command center for 14 years. Mistreated, poorly paid, but I was on a mission.
And undermined.
I was on a mission.
I see.
I rejected the PhD courses by the international universities because I wanted to call it systems analysis. I worked in Mengo, I worked in the State House.
I see.
Just to know how the system operates.
But you're not sure of which situation is good.
Having worked in the government at the center command post, I made the following conclusions on how this government, the mafias who control, what this government is under state capture with the mafias. One, they use preemptive maligning. Any perceived enemy is maligned and subject to malice before the president and the public using their mercenary media. I was described as a madman by Dr. Kabushenga and Dr. Kuba. But as I speak today, Dr. Kuba and Dr. Kabushenga are no longer in the hospital, which means their diagnosis was wrong.
They are not doctors.
Yes.
In the actual sense, they are not doctors.
They say, Mulalo, Nikakuba, what will it seem? Kasajja Kuba and Kusanga,
Dr. Kurubia.
Dr. Betuli sick and Nika sing.
Look at those people.
Because in the future, we shall have a democratic government. Once you have democracy at maturity, this is when they ask you.
I suspect we might not have a democratic government.
We shall have it. At one time, we are talking America. America is 400 years. France and Germany and what? Thousands. Japan, 3,000 years. So we are still at 50 at 60. We are maturing at high speed. Now, why I cannot forgive Kabushenga and Kulubia is because one day these people,
the papers they wrote,
will be asking. A government newspaper at that time described your father as a madman. Because you don't know the impact of this. You don't know. There was a man. It was called Setenda. Setenda was a permanent secretary in this government and wanted to contest with Mayinja, Abu Mayinja in Mubende. What Abu Mayinja did, he circulated copies of the old newspapers implementing Setenda in Amini's government. Setenda lost. Yes, Setenda lost.
I see.
Kakoza Mutale reproduced a story about Abu Mayinja when Mayinja was in government. Mulengera. Mayinja went back to the 60s and brought to the judgment of the 60s. Mulengera was closed by a court.
I see.
Because they're idiots. They did not look at my future. You farm by the kit to Daka Saju. Whatever they were, like an envelope.
I see.
Cassia when I like an envelope. Back up on a plane suspect. So when you do things, Bible was ambushing the Mwango. Let him to let it get on chafe to indoctrinate. Wapi when I have gone.
I see.
When I go. Have gone. The Baganda don't want Akadira, we call it Akadira. Akadira, that when a man chases you, come back. No. Akadira Baganda. So they use two. They do not mind about the contribution of any individual who becomes their target. When they are attacking the Byanda, stealing the Matosiro. When they attacked me. It was as if I had never done anything. Even my mother who was crippled, the Baganda riot has singled out of my mother, singled her out. When Museveni was sacking me, that was it.
You never remembered that?
Museveni never remembered this. He had been Bali Joseph. What I need is compensation. If you are local, if you don't, I don't mind. God will compensate me.
I see.
Never. It's only Jiburiru. Gabriel and St. Peter's, who can preside over our case. Number 3, they target Museveni's royalists by removing them from influential offices and relegating them to very local. Me, but I can be an advice. Me. It can't be.
Once you are royal to Museveni,
yes,
you are there.
Punishment because Museveni does not protect his people. No.
Family ogimanyi bulungi. How does Museveni side with you nga waliwo omuko?
Yes.
Very many times they are siding
on they cover their own footmarks in criminality and blame it on innocent individuals. Kakati wano abakola ebyamateeka ge base badduka bakasayidi bakika sayija kyo kyaddawo nekibeera kiringa kizontolize kizonto kyabwe bakuba ninyenda kunia nebaniyamu ninyenda ku akobuzaba kakubye. Their followers are they only for where you have interest? Yes, it's only where you have interest.
I see.
That's where you highlight. Nibula ba Amawulire ne mugazira niko kuzira amawulire ngo kuzira bukamiri oli muno nebo taddamu kuba bo Mayinja bwe dukali buli sente temuddamu bo masanyalaze ne buli sente temuddamu kuyimba ba kusasira ne bali sente bamba bire dada temugenda mbivulu byabo ne bajoko mokulya ne ba kujoga. How do I feel when I hear Kusasira getting billions? Masanyalaze getting a vehicle, King Mike, everybody. Did you give me anything? Send somebody one.
Ronald Mayinja yabamaze. Yagambye
benyondo. If you are your man, send somebody one. With no money. Mbalageko. Ntinze ndikidoli. Kakati wali wayagala okunia. Ninyenda kunia mirundi. Dete kidoli kyaffe. Nitwenda kunia. Nitwenda kunyala. Nitwenda kusisha. I'm not a mobile toilet.
I see.
Yes, if I'm a mobile toilet, I decide who should look near me, into me.
I see.
Yes. Well, if you consider me as a mobile ekidoli.
Nemze ekiri ekirabika kifumba mutuku. N'abagenze be mugamba nti bali abaddukayo ne bajja bayimba ennyimba.
They cover their own footmarks in the criminality and blame it on innocent individuals. Number 5, you have to become their hunting dog if you opt to work with them. Must be a hunting dog. Me, Nina Kuvero Mukachiko, Gandhi member. I have to be solid, not meat. When you know I will never be solid. If you want something the nation to do, give me my budget.
I see.
But you know, kwenda nyumbani yako, staki. Taki kazi ya serikali. Kugamba. Number 6, they operate on the slave and master relationship. Away from the known principles of politics which have been enumerated above. Politics is based on mutual partnership, common objectives, and ideology.
I see.
And sharing. Oyina kubambwa yawe era basasula sente kwenibi ogento obakoleze kubolingwa. I cannot be a hunting dog at 65.
I see.
A fool at 50 is a fool forever.
I see.
How can a man of 65 become a fool? That when it comes to a committee, I must be a member. When it comes to a radio station, then I should be restricted where they have shares. Then I should be no. That is Obujozi. Stinking Obujozi. Okukujoga. Lite kidoli kyaffe tunie. Bulingide our mobile toilet tunie. Nenyenda kunia. Nenyenda kunyala. Nenyenda kusisha. Ebyo bikola ku mutwe gwange. Tebikyadda mukola. Ati embula yemeka nfe. Mwana ajja kumpulira mu kudaala. Anybody who thinks
wajayo omutwe gwe.
Side with the Lwabwo is joking. nze mbawulira
Muzaibu
ne meeting yeweddewo
bwe watugamba ku mwenda
andi kubulira namukoledde ki nakoze
ndi bwe tugamba ku mwenda
nabagambye
that when you guys meet
serious bali bagamba nti mbakube badduke baddeyo eri ewalwabo obwo nange nembasabye amagezi nabatunulira butunulizi who triumphed. I was bundled out of state house like a chicken thief. I only went there on invitation. Nengano genda ate ngolewo hapo genda ndi musiru batuteki iwe negotiate
ibakula mu state house ngosale ndongo.
What did I eat? Nali ayoze
wavayo buvibo otyo.
You don't know.
Erije tumanyimbu je basavinga golodi.
Is that our antagonism has reached graduated into omutego. When it reaches omutego, we don't see each other. You just throw the man away. M.i.S.O, he has been presenting, he was hiding from a meeting, but he came out and attended the last meeting, and I know what he discussed. And if he provokes me more, I can even expose the meeting that has lasted here for 2 weeks. People from Malawi, from I even saw people who did the interpretation. Ngabo bamanyi Lufaransa bamanyi iki. Lwabo is aware, and those who were aware. And it was after this meeting that Ruhindi has the audience. Have you ever seen Ruhindi writing in the newspapers and written today, raising his ugly head now? Ruhindi Ruhindi mujai, Ruhindi mumalewo. Banne abasajja tiba, and they cannot kill me. We are running into something. Let them kill somebody and see. Ono factory zikwata ono baba dukamu kibuga ono ejoko bali bakwamu
ebyo babyefuzeeko ke babyefuze. Everything is almost theirs.
Number 7 like the colonial army, a brave African soldier must be placed under a European commander. You must operate under tight control and supervision. Gotoba na chintu
toba nakako
nokukiriza okubeera mu lugosi obeera lugosi gwe olimbwa antigidoko you needed when they want you toyina kyofuna
only needed
nga
bakwetaaze.
Emirundi is a nuclear bomb. Okay, test a poor one.
I see.
Yes. Ono linzi zekewo kitange yewulako ewa muna natuweerera
mpulira
ekyokezo ekibali mu mutwe singa buli muntu abba obujozi buno buli gwe bajoze n'atagendayo buli gwe bajoze kasaba kujja mu mulimu bakutala mu peripheral road go home. Ekyokulino eryokukiriza bwala disi okukiriza ki eri bajozi
tebakisobola.
Yes. Kaba bajoga bumbajogi not me yakubeera kamumpala usigalize emyaka naye nga sijogeddwako leeta omutwe gwabwe nenyenda kunya nenyenda kuseesa tikijja kubeera. Nobody will turn me into ekidoli. Naye nkugamba they created, they must control government resources and jobs in order to ensure that their trusted members are posted where money is. Era kasaba tegeera nti sente zaabwe waliwo omulimu gugenda okukolebwa bakuba amawulire ne bakujjawo ne bateekawo owaabwe fe twajja okukolera obwereere okukolera misaala which salary are you talking about? Which salary? Takayo wa salary awo. Which salary are you talking about? Emeka emiliyoni emu nayo wajogera mu bantu obo bakopi kasola bomusajja omuganda muri abereya kopi. This is a primitive at the highest level. Nenkugamba they created a fellowship with the mafias, a subterfuge, an underground government. Mubali babaze wiki biro nanga batudde neno wa iso tali nyai no misalenti je tali nyai. But if Mabogo provokes me, I will reveal all of the proceedings because I was recording with them. Number 9, they use government institutions to undermine their enemies, like a UCC. UCC, Kawalakwe, Umfugirawo. If I'm under government, Kawalakwe, you got. You go to the minister who controls me, minister, Kawalakwe, you got of UCC. You go to a minister and tell him or her that I need him.
He should prevail over you.
And see who calls me if I'm in the government. You tell a minister who can reign me.
It is said that much as you appear on the media, You are under UCC.
Where?
And when there is something, you should go there.
Where?
Competing. Serious.
What happens if somebody who has refused to go to UCC? Quick, you come on, do it. I don't respect you.
I see.
You from under government. You for I. What if UCC was? UCC is like a media council for negotiations. I don't want to negotiate. You never see me in your office. Never.
I
cannot go to this kagal. Never.
I see.
Because he has no jurisdiction over me. You write it to them that officially don't host this man.
I see. Mazima.
Restrict yourself to those you control.
I see.
Number 10, they ensure to maintain a close proximity with the president and ring-fence him, which has blocked him from getting information regarding the activity. Yes, he goes. Bamulimbe, media center yagan. I will never enter your office. You kagal. I don't recognize you.
I see.
Go ahead. That the person who has been rejected you, you don't control me, you control radio stations and TVs, not individuals.
What if they ban you from appearing on those radio stations?
Thinking in nickers.
I see. Njagala kubuuza mzee nga bwe bakunyiiza ne bakubandling out of State House. Don't you think ne Mayinja balina ensonga?
Mayinja bakamiliyoni bapi. Mayinja was these people when you analyze singers. Yes. Chameleon, Dorothea, where did the Dorothea end? She was a marijuana smoker, a marijuana trafficker. She was arrested in America. Dorothea Mwagala. How did Dorothea ask Chameleon? How did Dorothea?
How did it end with Dorothea?
I even saw this younger brother of Chameleon with a magician house. Kubanga yesimbi ngajijawa. Yesimbi lwachevayo kati. Yesimbi mubine byabayimbi. Tiye mukagalabishi. Bukedde kubanga amayumba gakusaze nakubaga nga bafu bayitire. Era kasajja kalokede n'entwe yako kano kasebbowa kebagula obukuzinga ebinyero. Ng'enyumba ajijawa. Eyo ejira mu kiseera kino.
King Saha? Saha mugagga. Akoza akasente mu kuyimba.
Lwaki anoonya ekifo kino? Buye mugagga. Akasajja kabukedde akafungula ndika kabukedde. To impress. Tindi mugagga nnyo. Then when you feel rich man, you have already made money. Ate ekyo ekibiina okyagazaala.
Ayagala kifo.
Ate kifo ate omugagga.
Okulembera banne.
Ayina factory eriruddawa.
Mpulira.
Singa bamubira mu bivulu ayina ennyumba eyo.
Nti Saha alima. Saha alima alunde enkoko.
Akafudembe kabukedde. Obunuka babugula ne bunuka. Bunuka bwabukedde ate tebujja kwavuwa. Tebujja gagalo obufudembe. Babu ayo mitwalo 10 obufudembe. Kano kafaanana na kali. Akafudembe obufudembe bwabukedde. Obufudembe tuyita bufudembe. Mu Luganda tuyita bufudembe.
Negati bize ani alina okulembera abo mu kibiina nga buli yajjayo omutego okuba.
Mayinja yagamba kibuyaga bwajja ne byatajja ne byabitwala. Luyimba
kibuyaga bwaba agenda ne byatale.
Let me tell you. Mayinja is an ambassador, a goodwill ambassador for water. Bagumujeko mulimu.
Mbade sikimanyike.
Bagumujeko.
Mbade sikimanyike ekyo.
Naye nze ndi musanyifu nnyo buli yababbaka ababbe. Nze bampa. Embwa erina kubeera. I have to be solid to be omupakasi ewalwabo ogwo mu kakiiko ke. Canonized. How relevant is canonized to media? Temanyani abajozi wonna mbuze ntuli nabo nswere mpono I refused to sit with these people.
Kati bibakaba ya bwerere.
They had nothing to do with the media. Obanje okabateekemu embwa yaabwe. Donna, omutuku mulinga engoma gye bataddeko amatuna amaaso. Donna is an infiltrated reporter. Nga ntula nabo. Me. Ndi ntula nabo. Museveni alonze akakiiko ntule nabo. Era NBS batwala embwa ya. NBS talindabako. Balide talindabako mubakumi kumumalawo. Kalisa talindabako kasenyo nga tekalinda. Nze bwe kasita ntambula sidda. Bwentambula bwenti n'enfuluma. You are finished. Kakati nkugamba.
Mzee nani kye njagala okubuuza nabagenda ku ekyo. Njagala kubuuza gundi. Franka Gashumba yavuddeyo jjo n'agamba mbu alina ebifaananyi bya Bobi Wine ng'ali mu State House. Bobi Wine mulimba agendayo mu State House ye ne mukazi we bwe bamulinnyirira ennyo ajja kuleeta ebifaananyi.
Nedda kibiina kitufiirwa waayo. Mu Uganda temuliimu ki.
Opposition?
Yes, in fact, I was supporting Gashumba. Ngenda basomera formation ya NO. NO was formed by NRA. So I'm not surprised by the Gashumba. And in fact, Gashumba is connected to Ruabo. I have seen a list of opposition people who get money from government. So Gashumba is being used. Gashumba was crushed the wrong way. But that one is coming. Me, I knew it. My problem with Gashumba is that they use him and dump him. Use him, he want to teach you so come. See, Ninja and Dakunia, Ninja Dakunia, Ninja Dakunia, you come to go, Ninja Dakunia, Ninja Dakunia, Ninja Dakunia. My head is not taking it.
I see.
Don't show that we are going to be. Never.
I see.
Castonjo Gangamida. Kasakuvira. So politics is a partnership. But politics was Sugaina. And that's why they are getting problems. Tebintu byawe. Tebali ku government nga bwe zibeera. Nkulaga wano mu katabo kange kano. Era katabo nakawandika ddi.
Museveni.
But ekibabonyabonya obujozi bunuse buli omu ajogeddwa obujozi bunuse obusuma bunuse. Yes, obusuma bunuse. Kakati yo lwali parliament egobye eki gyakubala okutax kati egobye eki era ina parliament kyegobye parliament si ya Museveni parliament ya Lwabo. Nkolagerisi
y'amaanyi agajjawa
nkolagerisi abafellowship list yabo njokulage list yabo era kya obutambi bwonna mbuyina kakati kanakata bakali kati nkusomere nkulage to their problem. The problem of these people is arrogance and that they have lost credibility.
Written on Monday 25th July 2018.
Obujozi bunuse.
I see.
Obusuma bunuse. Waliwo ekiseera kasitagwe ogenda ng'oli azamanya buli muntu mu tawuni buli omu takuguza bbanja.
Kituufu.
Ne bamalaya bava ku street emu ne balaga ku ndala. Kakati gavumenti eno obusuma bunuse.
Obusuma bugiyitiridde.
Obusuma bugiyitiridde.
Kambuze muze. Ne wabaawo etteeka ku nnyanja, ne wabaawo etteeka ku maliba, ne wabaawo etteeka ku ki.
Anti kakati yali
kati ate mwanyi.
Anti batya kango boli ngogamba. Nti akatabo kano nakawandika ne mbagamba nti si mmwe musobola okufuna scandals. Nabagamba nti the first scandal after Uganda's independence was Milton Obote's wedding. It is estimated that the budget for the wedding was 30,000 British pounds, which at that time was equivalent to 600,000 Ugandan shillings. Or better criticized the foreign embassies that threatened to cut off aid to Uganda as a result of this lavish expenditure. He defended his expenditure, saying that he was a nationalist who had tirelessly worked to achieve Uganda's independence. He added that most of the items that were consumed at the wedding, including beer, were donations from foreign companies operating in Uganda. On the other hand, Baganda ministers and county chiefs were spending huge sums of money while many Baganda walked barefooted. At a time when meat was a preserve for big days, Kabaka Mutesa II had the audacity to buy a Rolls Royce. He, Mutesa, also go to mobile clinics where there are no doctors. Simultaneous. Mutesa yagula Rose. They were go professors move in the midst of heresy for years. Go to mobile clinics. So we are not seeing government scandals for the first time. No. But the question is, how did these governments manage? Because there was a team, Ngugam. Tisebufu, who was Professor Sebufu, Minister of Health in Binaisa's government, bought mobile clinics, were aware that there were no doctors and drugs. Maybe more to give it. We have funded TV. The argument was, they took the baby and Mubiano as hospitals are beginning dilapidated. To Kodewa, we begin in a Mubiano. We do have to go we could be so good. Chibera, and this is what was the percent of 79 COVID years. And the Museveni accuses Bina overturning the state house in Dokiri house. That did not be a root. What are we seeing now?
It is the same.
State house, it was not surprising to know that they never worked and they ended up rotting at the Bombala headquarters. No. At time. When Obata came into power, the newcomers in the government also saw it as an opportunity to root. This was mainly because Godfrey Binayisa had a group of politicians who had established links with the Kenyan mafia. Secondly, their experience in the 70s, where they had been surviving on handouts from Julius Nyerere and doing odd jobs, was one they were not ready to say again. But by new, or experience the value, never to work as a chamu was, yet in the Bank of Uganda. Again, government by you put. Yet also, but in Malaba, Yena, but the Bekuna Muchi, coffee was one of the reasons that caused antagonism between Oito Joe and Yobot. Coffee, Nembagam, prominent scandals during the military Nepotezero. Sheraton, during the Nepotez regime, a lot of money was spent on rehabilitating the Nile mansions and the Sheraton Hotel. Though most of the funds were stolen, and by the time NRM took over both hotels, they were dilapidated building. Despite the change of the name to Apple Hotel, it remained an ivory tower project. A person could not cross from Speaker Hotel to Sheraton Hotel during the day because of the bush that surrounded it. Mutumikimo into Sheraton Apple Hotel. Everybody but take a said, Bagamba, Nti, but Agamba. I'm not surprised that the opposition MPs are opposed to rehabilitating because of his name, Apollo. But by the time Apple, a lot of money was stolen. Yes, no rehabilitation took place. I told you that one of the issues which caused antagonism between Binais and Mwangandi Wakasis. Wakasis was the Minister of Tourism. I rehabilitated the hotels on now. Indeed. The part of Africa started rise and shine. Now Mwanga yakwata intebezo na twala n'entimbe n'abijja mu maaso. Mwanga woteri y'Entebbe kwe airport yali yiye nga bye buli kamu. Yes. So obubbi
tebusoose leero waliwo
naye ekibuleeta kiki nti bano bali divided n'abagambye nti obubbi obuli mu Ministry of Education bwe tebabwogerako. Naye bakuba gwa muherezi. Kakati tugeze nti nabagamba nti saagala mutugambe nti nyumba facility. Not at all. We are talking about the Ministry of Education. Kakati, what causes the rise of school fees?
Everyone is questioning that.
Yes.
Why
and kubuulira during Obote's time jo buli lwakusa twa amasomero gagendanga ku Ministry headquarters n'ettata zaabo. Ndikakimanyi yero maize, ndikakimanyi omuceere, ndikakimanyi amata, ndikakimanyi ebi. Era nabagamba nti strike y'ekako yali caused nga kuli Stephen Ssenyonjo agobye omusajja gwe bayita Kisiiza omukulu w'essomero n'aleeta wamubbira ng'ebintu babitunda mu Masaka. Kakati today honestly ne bwe munaagamba First Lady abamukozesa ebintu balimba buli lwolagira ekintu nekitakola omuntu omukulu ogwamuki
ogwamu respect.
Yes. Nti amasomero gakyajinga ku school fees ez'amaanyi nga gaagala
price y'ebintu ebwerinnya.
Yes.
Nabo bongezaamu basobola okumanaginga situation.
Kakati okujjako nga mugambye nga Museveni bwe yagamba nti amasomero g'ebisulo go gabeera naki gali expensive, school fees ntono. Kati okujjako nga amasomero mugakyuzizza ne mukola ng'amalwaliro nti amalwaliro mulimu private wing neki kati n'amasomero mugateekemu private wing ng'ezimu ze ziriisaaki nti Makerere University yafuna emirembe yaleeta abeesasulira bokka.
Kituufu.
Kakati bana sente ze bajja mu kwesasulira bokka ziyamba n'abaana abaki
ze balabiriza bano aba gavumenti.
Kakati okujja kakati first lady bana abemukozesa they would defy them. Abazadde bajja kutuula ku parents gundi twagala abaana kuyita nze kankubuulira mutabani wange yakomyewo ng'avudde ku ssomero naye yangambye daddy do you know we eat better than how we eat here. Yes. Bwe yangambye ne baŋŋamba mukyala wange naŋŋamba amuzaala ti bwe bagenda essomero eri nze sigenda luli abagagga oba lyagala sente ziweerezebwa kusoma olunaku olwo naye maama we yaŋŋamba ti byayogera bituufu n'abazadde bennyini bwe tomanyi nti amasomero agamu mwe mutwalira abaana emmere kati ate bo be bawa abazadde ekyebisana nga bazze okulaba abaana baabwe. This is school and I explained ti enkoko zaabwe baziyina bazirunda. Kakati instead of looking if a market bababbe baana baabwe bebakolaki
bebazirya
backward and forward linkages. Kakati essomero ng'eryo facility aliragira amasomero ga miyingo atudde naye amasomero ga miyingo omusomesa afuna sente meka
era lisasula
meka
mazima.
Yes, twerimba first lady mama tebamubuulira tibyogenda okwogera bakusuula
bakuwadde byakiyayi
nze miyingo omwana yali mu senior 3 muwala wange ng'obukadde buli obwo bubiri
ate nga dda sikati
kakati metron namwepankako metron yali mulamu wa miyingo ng'asuna abaana amatu abakolaki naddira akaana kange nakozesa te ebinono oluganda ne mukamayeka nakwata buloka 9 nengenda ku ssomero ate yawona bomutwe engwasi mash that woman is head naye mukazi wange gundi namubulira driver wange namubulira namugamba nti ono omusajja alina buloka naye alabika agenda kuba musomero metoni omutte omukazi bwe tutuuka kireka n'agenda mu supermarket yayita mu manja n'abagamba nti mudduke omulalu ajja
ne buloka
nasangawo kabangalyezi mu kisaawe nenkwata buloka yange nyigire mu staffu saasangamu muntu n'omu nasanga baddusi miyingo n'abagamba lwaki mutawanyi omwana w'omusajja oyo omulalu omusajja ajja kunjokera essomero lyange miyingo yatulira omwana yanga nti nkusonyiye sente ezatu nemugamba mulamu otakomawo era teyadda abaana ne bandikira eyalinga parent of the year nabasolomezibirako nakimu bebuloka bunyabunya omwana komba kwa miliyoni 2 ng'obunyabunya omwana wange bebuloka ku muntu
bagamba n'olunaku omwana olwo yafiira mu ddwaliro abasawo bonna baaliddukamu nga bategedde nti ajja ne bambala leeya ne bajja mu uniform
agate nkugamba nakivubo stadium have written about nakivubo a lot of money was pumped and swindled here also. The project was headed by Rwabona Kabulusi, the then chairman of the National Council of Sports, and was supposed to be an ultra modern stadium with a cup on top. The money was diverted to personal use. Coffee Marketing Board, this was the treasury of the country at the time. However, it became a personal gold mine for David Oito Joko, who treated it as a personal business. As for the short-lived Yoke of the government, it was reported that he bought his bedroom fitting at a cost of 3,000 British pounds, and his ministers also benefited enormously during the war against Iran under the guise of buying military weapons. kano toko yafuna sente Museveni yatuga nti ekitanda ky'ensanze okwokera aguze yakigula paundi 13 bakyogesa naki yena agenda kula ekitanda naye yaddamu n'agula ekirala
nga situwamulanga ano
yali abuzeyo ekyabaana sikiriti tesobola mukkiriza oyita ojooka ekyamulwanyisa n'obote mwanyi ate mujjukire Santana twalina ddiiru eya gundi omusajja oyo gwe mbagamba ennyo gulesibingira yali ambassador Spain n'atuguza Santana ne batwala emmwanyi zaffe coffee has been the source of antagonism in Uganda. So whoever touches coffee, in fact Uganda tells you in Sibambi yediba mutere
mazima
bad parking even if Ugandans wanted this coffee but the woman is discredited.
Yes
the
woman you're giving the deal is not marketable to Ugandans. No,
because you cannot say that a woman who failed to consult a hospital can be given another assignment.
I see.
It can't be.
I see.
It is only in Uganda
after a failure
where a failed coach comes back.
I see.
Only in Uganda where a failed coach can come back and
is given the national
results. Mulindwa cannot make that mistake. Mulindwa cannot hire that man. And as a result, footballers declined in Uganda.
I see.
Yes.
But everything is failing, you say. Everything is failing.
Before I give an insight on corruption during the period during NRM, let me re-evaluate my areas of omission. The colonial government could not engage in the corruption issues because their main objective was to pacify the natives in order to avoid riots, which could deplete the police coffers. In order to get Ugandan government finances, its activities, they instead introduced cash crops in Uganda to ensure that the country is peaceful. The British knew that in case you incite the public to riot, you will use more money. So they made sure that peace prevailed. This is what we call nostalgia. That many Ugandans believe that the colonial period was better. Yes.
I see.
These people ensured peace so that the natives could concentrate in peace on growing cash crops. Era wana omusajja bamuyita Bazira yasimbawo entebe n'agamba nti nze kyenjagala abazungu bakomewo yali takalidde tebayita amagye ekiro ne galonda entebe. Yes. We call it nostalgia. Independent governments failed to maintain the peace the Europeans had maintained. I have a message of 1963 Africanization. Omwekaze oli awandika bane abazungu bagenda nene ekisa ky'abazungu bagenda nakyo. Today if you go to a hospital you will find a muzungu. Look at this man. Olw'Embeera wandika mu New Vision. The man failed to run a municipality. Avuma abantu. If you fail to run a municipality in Africa, you cannot be allowed even to pick garbage in a municipality in Europe. Never know a man used to make Iraq. Who failed?
Ian Iraq.
Right. As if he's an authority.
Bamulonda n'omulonda abantu bewaabwe.
Naye yakola. Yawalufu. One New Vision of the woman n'avuma abantu. Human rights. Umuyoni. We even had a Chief Justice who was chased away by Museveni. Was a former policeman. Ali. But has become a Chief Justice and Okero.
I see.
Ali. A former policeman during the Second World War. This is why the British constructed the Uganda Railway to link the hinterland to the coast. However, under NRA, the railway has not only been uprooted, but the metal rails installed during the colonial era have been stolen and sold to Chinese companies as raw materials for their steel mills. Nakwezo, President yali agenda okugulawo an investors park ejantoni where zebateekawo bazipawo kino saluminium zakukwira wa muyinga akola aluminium windows bamukwata poliisi yali yasidenti Negwa, amin, Mayinja, amin. Yeah, in this verse. Oh, the other is the other taking into one quarter of Mayinja, amin. Secondly, the British introduced missionary schools and hospitals to provide health services to their workplace and to be hygienic. The peasants also paid money to sustain health workers, who are mainly European nuns. The educated people took over low-ranking jobs, such as clerks and operated as interpreters in the courts of law. Thirdly, the colonial missionaries denounced traditional religions that encouraged human sacrifice, paganism, and other primitive practices. This was a strategy to undermine the traditional religion, and indeed worked well because the new educated locals discarded paganism and embraced the new religion, except me. This new trend led to fierce battles between the natives, but without the involvement of Europeans. This was common in African kingdoms, with the wars arising from successional battles because there were no clear guidelines to choose a new king or chief. They can now. We have battles over succession war. We killed the institution, the initiating institution. The party is dead. The movement caucus only comes to get money from Museveni. Kakati, chama chama binduzo jire tamukulwani. They know. Tija kuita mu party. Nowhere even the Secretary General of the party doesn't know what is going on. That's why it has taken the succession of Museveni has taken a new trend. Piti, his son, against his Inuru.
Yes.
How can an Inuru think of ever succeeding your father in which culture?
People think it's just drama. They are playing around with people's minds, like they have been doing through.
In African kingdoms, wars arising from succession battles because there were no clear succession battles. Courts of law to handle such a disagreement. Do you know that the king, over the succession over Bunyoro Kingdom was decided by court? This explains why the groups that were defeated relocated to other areas for kingdoms. Whoever was defeated would relocate for fear of reprisal in the form of death as punishment for committing treason. Succession battles weakened the stronger kingdoms like Bunyoro and Toro. Finally, the introduction of cash crops drastically changed people's lifestyles. Peasants started getting an income as compared to period under the rule of kings and chiefs who enjoyed the monopoly over commerce. Yes, Kabaka yasubulanga yekka nga yalina obuyinza obugaba mutuzeeyo era mutuzeeyo ku mwana
mazima
timwanga yakaba amasanga yawadde kabaka we nedda ogwo obusuma bunuse obujozi bunuse obusuma bunuse n'obujozi ne bunuse temwina kye mujja kukola nga bunuse
Kasayija bw'aba akola bidiiro bino
omuntu bwakuba olugine lw'eggana ne lutegula atema butebi ekintu ky'omukazi mukite musooke mukyerabiremu mukiveeko
naye bo buli kye baagala kiyitawo
anti kibawagera abaganda bakuga siina ddagala lya mpagama empagama tukuwagama stuck in your throat when you see something you cannot buy vomit
I see
ekyomukazi mukite kigaanyi kihamye nyangire kinyangire ekyomukazi kinyangire abalya sente ze bazimuddize kiganye abalya sente z'omukazi bamanyiddwa abalibulibwa abatakuta kino kiganye kyagaana kyajeema obusuma bunuse obujozi bunuse.
President we Kenya yayongeza ku misaala olw'okuba nti ebbeeyi eri waggulu ey'ebintu naye yetagenda kuddamu yetagenda
kuddamu. Clinton bafuna oil shortage as we have today during an election. Ali go anasaba gundu akize bakwate ku reserve z'amafuta. Bush yagamba nti these are idiots, they should go. This is the reason why they should go. Why don't you force Saudi Arabia, where our children are dying, to flood the market? Yabakuba.
I see.
Yabakuba. Yes, Yabakuba. What were you doing? Why do you create this problem? This is what Ben Kiwanuka used to tell the British. You created this Masaza, you should solve it before you go.
I see.
Don't leave it with us.
So kyabadde mu nnyo makulu Kenyatta kuongeza ku bantu misaala
The mass killings that characterize post-independent Uganda have had a negative impact on people's perception towards the government. Following the events that have happened after independence, given a chance, people would prefer if under colonialism. I'm telling you,
yes,
Ugandans, if you have a referendum to choose whether people should go back to colonialism, many people will say yes. Many people will say that at least kakati nadde njagala okubasomera mukatako muno nandikamu bintu bingi naye nabagamba oboti bo baagana omupresident kyagamba the obotes refused to modernize agriculture. Why? Because modernizing agriculture tetulina kyetumufunyeemu. It has ended up with Ugandans, and if you audit them and the money they get, where is the impact?
Yes. We are questioning the huge budgets with the less impact.
If the creative and agricultural bank, sente ezimu UDP bazibbayo buli unit toyinza kubira mutamiivu n'omugamba gaba okuma store yamwe buli kimu
agwenywera
beba kirya until we get a government etegeera nti in order to get the people's votes what we should do is to bino byonna babikola ne bagamba is a wasted on the time the auditor general ayigigi kamya is wasting your time nanka nabanje yajawa anguma bakasaya kwata kuba mafia bamubali mu watu achakole mitwe achakole mitwe
yajawa amanyi
bamubana demu kuvuba ebyenyanja atacha avuba mputa museveni bwabaye musanga avuba mputa kati avuba mukini
ali kubuyamba
boda kati atia aje bali bakuyita kinakuka
yavanga mu helicopter nadda ku boda nalaga abantu ye mukulembeze aliwo
handle is me they are afraid to handle me why I know them
I see
I know how they operate never
but they have tried to kill you
several times bwe bakujoka toddayo when they remove you from an information job, the peripheral job, you go home and make a break.
I see.
It's very dumb.